Today we're diving into some truly epic strategies. We're talking about outsmarting, outmaneuvering, and completely dismantling your enemies without ever throwing a single punch. That's right, 13 crazy ways to win without ever having to fight. This isn't your typical self-help video. We're going to break down the craziest tactics from history, psychology, and even the animal kingdom. You'll learn to turn your weaknesses into strengths, to predict your enemy's next move before they even make it, and to become an unstoppable force in any situation. Get ready to have your mind blown because these strategies are so powerful, so cunning, they just might change the way you see the world. Stay tuned because things are about to get interesting. Picture this. You're facing a rival, someone who's constantly trying to take you down. It could be a business competitor, a rival in love, or just someone who seems to enjoy making your life difficult. They're bigger, stronger, louder, and they always seem to be one step ahead. It's frustrating, it's infuriating, and you're tired of being stepped on. Our hero, just like you, is facing a similar situation. They're tired of being the underdog, of constantly being on the defensive. They want to win, but they know that fighting fire with fire won't work this time. They need a new game plan, a strategy that uses their strengths and their enemy's weaknesses. That's where these 13 strategies come in. They're not about brute force or aggression. It's about using your intelligence, your creativity, and your wit to outsmart your opponent and come out on top. It's about turning the tables, taking control, and ultimately achieving your goals without ever resorting to violence. The first obstacle our hero faces is fear. Their enemy is powerful, influential, and seems untouchable. The fear of failure, the fear of humiliation, the fear of retaliation, it's paralyzing. This fear is like a heavy weight holding our hero back, preventing them from acting, from making a move. It whispers doubts in their ear, telling them they're not good enough, not strong enough, not smart enough to win. But here's the thing about fear. It feeds on inaction. The longer our hero hesitates, the bigger their fear grows. To overcome this first obstacle, they must confront their fear head-on. They must acknowledge it, understand it, and then, most importantly, act in spite of it. The first strategy to destroy your enemy without fighting is deceptively simple. Become invisible. No, we're not talking about literal invisibility, although that would be pretty cool. We're talking about making yourself invisible to your enemy's eyes. Think about it. If your enemy doesn't see you as a threat, they won't waste their time and resources trying to take you down. This means keeping a low profile, avoiding unnecessary conflicts, and refusing to play their games. It's about being the silent observer, studying their movements, understanding their weaknesses, all while remaining undetected. By becoming invisible, you're not only protecting yourself from their attacks, but you're also gaining a strategic advantage. You're giving yourself the time and space you need to plan your next move, to build your strength, and to strike at the right moment. The second strategy relies on knowledge. Sun Tzu said it best: if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. Knowledge is power, and in this case, it's the power to dismantle your enemy without ever throwing a punch. This means becoming a student of your enemy. Learn everything you can about them, their strengths, their weaknesses, their fears, their motivations. What drives them? What are their insecurities? The more you know, the better equipped you'll be to anticipate their moves and counter them effectively. But knowledge is useless without action. Once you understand your enemy, use that information to your advantage. Exploit their weaknesses, expose their flaws, and use their own strategies against them. Knowledge is your weapon, and it's time to wield it. Everyone has an ego, and your enemy is no exception. This ego is often their greatest weakness, and you can use it to your advantage. How? By feeding their ego, by playing on their sense of self-importance. Flattery, while insincere, can be a powerful tool. Compliment their accomplishments even if you don't mean it, stroke their ego, and make them feel invincible. The more you feed their ego, the more arrogant and careless they become, leaving themselves open to your attacks. But here's the key. Your flattery must be subtle, almost undetectable. If they sense your insincerity, it will backfire. Master the art of subtle manipulation, and you'll be able to control their actions without them even realizing it. You know the saying, "The enemy of my enemy is my friend." This ancient wisdom still holds true today. One of the most effective ways to destroy your enemy is to find allies who share your goal. Look around. Are there others who have been wronged by your enemy? Others who have been underestimated, overlooked, or cast aside? These people can become your most valuable allies, providing you with support, resources, and strength in numbers. Forming alliances isn't just about finding people who dislike your enemy. It's about building genuine relationships, fostering trust, and working together towards a common goal. Remember, a single arrow is easily broken, but a bundle of arrows is unbreakable. In any battle, the terrain can be a deciding factor. The same is true in the battle against your enemy. You need to choose your battles wisely, and more importantly, choose the battlefield. Don't fight your enemy on their turf. Instead, draw them onto your territory, onto a playing field where you have the advantage. This could be an area where your skills are superior, where you have more experience, or where you have the support of your allies. By carefully choosing the battlefield, you're tipping the scales in your favor. You're taking control of the situation and forcing your enemy to play by your rules. Remember, the right playing field can mean the difference between victory and defeat. Patience is often seen as a weakness, but in this case, it's your greatest strength. Remember, you're playing the long game. You're not looking for a quick win, but a total victory. Don't rush. Be patient. Observe your enemy and wait for the perfect moment to strike. Time can be your greatest ally, slowly chipping away at your enemy's strength while you build your own. Use this time to your advantage. Hone your skills, gather your resources, and strengthen your alliances. Remember, the patient hunter always catches their prey in the end. In a world that constantly demands attention, silence can be a powerful weapon. While your enemy is busy bragging, showing off, and seeking validation, choose silence. Let your actions speak louder than words. Your silence will be unsettling. It will cause your enemy to question your motives, to doubt their own actions, and to wonder what you're planning. This uncertainty can be more effective than any weapon. Use your silence to fuel their paranoia, to make them second-guess their every move. Remember, the softest whispers can be the loudest in your enemy's ears.